At first glance, it sounds irrational. Why would someone go back to the exact place where everything could fall apart for them? But in real criminal investigations, this pattern shows up more often than people expect. And when it happens at night, it changes everything. Because the crime scene is not always just a location. Sometimes it becomes a memory that refuses to stay buried. Imagine this: a quiet street. Police tape is gone. The world has moved on, but one person hasn't. Somewhere in the darkness, a figure stands just out of sight, watching, waiting, not for action, but for confirmation. Confirmation that the past is still real. Psychologists who study criminal behavior suggest something unsettling. For some offenders, returning to a crime scene is not about risk, it's about emotion, guilt, curiosity, control, fear, even pride. The human brain doesn't always process extreme events logically. Instead, it replays them over and over, especially when stress, adrenaline, or trauma is involved. So for certain individuals, going back becomes a way to relive the moment, or worse, to see if they can still control the story. At night, everything changes. The streets are quieter, visibility drops, and psychologically, the world feels less real. That's when intrusive thoughts grow louder. Some return just to see the aftermath. Some return to check if evidence is gone. And some return because they can't emotionally detach from what they did. It's not always about intelligence or planning. It's about psychological pull. A mental echo that says, go back, just once, make sure. Investigators often describe this behavior as a kind of compulsion loop. The person knows it's dangerous. They know it increases suspicion, but the emotional tension becomes stronger than logical fear. And that's where mistakes happen. A footprint left behind, a witness who notices movement in the dark, a camera that wasn't there before. One small return can undo everything. There's also something deeper. For some individuals, returning is about power. Standing again in the place where everything changed creates a strange emotional reversal. For a brief moment, fear is replaced by control. But that illusion never lasts, because the same place that once gave control becomes the place that gives them away. And then there's guilt. Even in people who try to deny it, the mind remembers. Night visits can become a silent confession. No words spoken, just presence. Just standing where everything happened, hoping it somehow feels different the second time. It never does. Law enforcement experts often say the night return is one of the most revealing behaviors in criminal psychology. Not because it is common, but because it is human. It exposes something uncomfortable, that even in moments of extreme wrongdoing, the mind still struggles to disconnect from emotion. So, the next time you hear about a suspect returning to a crime scene after dark, remember this: it's not always strategy, it's not always logic. Sometimes it's a mind trying to wrestle with what it cannot undo. And in that silent battle between fear, guilt, and control, the night always remembers more than the person wants it to.